Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of June 19th to 25th of 2023. All right, so we have a lot going on here astrologically. We'll try to cover all of this briefly and at the end do a bit of a holistic view to hopefully encapsulate all of this weekly energy. But first off, we are in the early phase of the lunar cycle. We did just have a new moon last Saturday and Sunday. And so it is just the beginning and things are just building momentum, and it's a good week to do so. Just experiment a little bit, get our feet wet with different things, and just slowly build energy as we go through the week. Now, earlier in the week on Monday, we are going to have the sun squaring up to Neptune, and then at the end of the week, Mercury squaring Neptune. So early and late week, I think it's good to find healthy ways of finding peace. Neptune is all about spirituality in its highest expression, what gives us peace and tranquility. But during squares, it can tend towards over and under extremes, and sometimes the unhealthy expressions of that can come through. So being conscious and intentional with that receptive, intuitive, going with the flow kind of energy. We do have Jupiter sextiling Saturn going exact this early part of the week around Monday, Tuesday, and this we've likely been feeling a little bit since last week, and it's really that there are opportunities this year to be both open-minded and to work towards things. And it could be an important week where things are moving forward in that way. So good to be open-minded, but good to also put in the work that Saturn calls us to do. We have two sign changes. We have the sun going into Gemini on Tuesday, likely going to get more into the practical, learning, cerebral, communicative energies of life. And then towards the later part of the week on Thursday, Venus will be entering Leo to join up with Mars. And so maybe a little bit more of that self-expression, playfulness, and creative energy towards the second half of the week could be emphasized. All right, so we do have other aspects. So let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, June 19th. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology. You will not see mainstream using the visible sky, unfortunately, and that's because in the West they are using the seasonal system. And so if you are new to this channel, definitely check out the link down below for more information, because the signs do change, the placements change from what you may be normally hearing about for this week. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of a recap here. The most important thing is we just had that new moon, the sun and moon conjunct last weekend. And on Monday, we're just in the very, very early phases of this, still in the new moon energy. And even as we go through the week, we're just going to be in that crescent phase, which is just slowly building momentum. So recognizing that we just had the lowest energy of the lunar cycle, it's still good these first few days to see what new arises in the lunar month, maybe set some new intentions. The new moon was in the constellation of Taurus, and so it's all about cultivating more resourcefulness, more of those inner and outer resources in our life. And this is the second new moon that we had here, so it's really a continuation of, you could say, the previous month as well, but things still moving forward in that department. But things immediately shift into the Gemini sphere, the next sign after Taurus, which is much more into the practical, cerebral, and communicative elements. And this is because the moon will be in Gemini on Monday, but then immediately following that on Tuesday, the sun will be getting closer to Gemini than Taurus. So noticing that shift early in the week, there will still be a lot of Taurus energy. Again, we did just start that new moon there. So in a sense, the lunar month is flavored in that way of, again, cultivating those inner and outer resources. Okay, but Mercury is going to still be here all week. So we're still going to be thinking this way and communicating in this way. And we could say that because the Gemini energy is about communication and all this Mercury type of stuff, that what we're learning about, how we're using our minds, how we're communicating is likely going to be in that grounded, resourceful, one step at a time way with Mercury in Taurus. Okay, so certainly a combination of energies there that are going on this week. We'll come to Venus and Mars here in just a moment when we talk about Venus changing sign. So let's go ahead and take a look here at Monday specifically. We do have a couple aspects here. One is really the yearly energy, the yearly aspect that we've had this year, and this is expansive Jupiter in a sextile with disciplined Saturn. Now, these two planets are polarities to one another. They are the yin and yang to each other. They're both about manifestation. Okay, Jupiter is the belief that if we believe it, if we're open-minded, then we can manifest. And Saturn is the belief that if we work hard and we're patient and we persevere, we can manifest. And so these two planets being in harmony, I really like. I love it when polarities are in good harmony to each other, because then we get the benefit of both. Because that's really what we want to do with the polarities, is combine the two, right? Yes, life is equally about being open-minded, but it also does require the grounded reality of things, the hard work and all of that. So it's nice to see them in harmony, and it's already been in effect since really within 1 degree last week as well. But it is going exact on Monday. So we could notice perhaps a new shift of perspective here about what we can manifest, about maybe some possibilities with Jupiter, but also where we can put in time and work with Saturn. Now, sextiles aren't major aspects, so we're not really forced into this. So think of it more as an opening. And it's a door we can walk through if we choose to. Okay, but we're not required to, we're not even pushed to really do it. But it's a great week for seeing opportunities and perhaps working towards them for the long term with this particular aspect. Okay, but on Monday, and just really concentrated around Monday and what we've likely felt the previous Sunday, was the sun squaring up to Neptune. So this can create it can basically diffuse energy a little bit. Sometimes it can lower energy. You know, the sun is our vital life force. It is what's shining. And Neptune is the deep waters of life. Spirituality rules the oceans, right? It's very much about that more unconscious energy. So it can really dampen the sun's energy. And so the best way of working with this is to constructively focus on things that are more maybe spiritual in nature, or are healthy and constructive ways for us to find peace in life. This is ultimately what Neptune's helping us do, is find more peace and more receptivity. And anything that's intentional with that, I think, is fantastic. And this can help balance out any over or under extremes we might feel with that Neptune, like wanting to escape or maybe some apathy. These kinds of things can be those pendulum swings with the square. But again, being intentional and constructive with bringing in more peace in our life, doing what's important to us on a soul level, can be a great way of working with this particular square. Again, something we've likely already felt coming into this week from the previous Sunday. Now, the moon will be in Gemini here on Monday. And so, again, getting into some of that learning and communicative energy already right at the beginning of the week is fantastic. But especially when we do get to Tuesday, because again, Tuesday, the sun starts to get closer to Gemini. And then we'll feel that increasing throughout the rest of the week there. All right, but Tuesday and Wednesday, the moon will be in Cancer. So just as a side note, really, not a major thing these couple days, but just a good couple days, Tuesday and Wednesday, for a bit of protectiveness, creating a safe and secure environment for ourselves and others, maybe reflecting on our past a little bit, maybe connecting with family or those we consider family. Can be fantastic here. And this is symbolic for Venus really finishing Cancer this week. She's going to shift into Leo around Thursday. And so just seeing how it has been good to enjoy life and really enjoy our relationships in this more protective way, or emotional way, or reflective way, which is what Cancer is all about. So still a great week for some of that. But Tuesday here, we do have just some minor sextiles here. Mercury is going to be sextiling up to Mars, and that sextile will be happening with Chiron as well, because Mars will be trining Chiron. So let's talk about it from the Mars trine Chiron side of it. This is definitely the strongest thing in the middle part of the week, and will likely be feeling from Wednesday all the way through Saturday, peaking around Thursday, Friday. But this is where Mars, the planet of our assertiveness, our drive, what we want in life, is in good harmony to the healer Chiron. So sometimes we can feel maybe a bit healed, a bit rejuvenated, maybe feeling a bit confident or assertive. Okay, so a nice rejuvenation, a nice reclaiming of some of that shadow, maybe cultivating some of those healthy qualities of Mars can be easier during this trine. And if there are things that maybe you might feel would be very empowering for you to do or very healing for you to do that might require a bit of assertiveness or initiative on your part, could be, again, a fantastic week for this, as we are supported to do those things in a way that could be feeling quite healed and rejuvenated or empowered as a result of that. All right, so that's Mars trining Chiron pretty much this whole middle part of the week. But on Wednesday, as a sort of prelude to that, Mercury will just be in good harmony to that with the sextile here. And so here, maybe communicating a bit assertively, maybe a bit of fire behind the mind that can be channeled into some of that learning or cerebral energy that we have going on with, by this point, the Sun in Gemini. Okay, so getting in some of that, again, mental energy, but noticing that there maybe is a bit of that assertive or initiating side that can be implemented into that. All right, so that's the middle part of the week there. I will mention that here on Thursday, the moon will go into Leo, and that's going to be at the same time that Venus starts to go into Leo. So the second half of the week, Thursday onward, really adds more to the Leo energy. Now, Leo is all about self-expression, playfulness, creative energy, and we've already had Mars here. He transitioned into here last week. So it's already been the case. That's been good to maybe when we are asserting ourselves or taking some action, doing it in a way that's a little bit more expressive, maybe a little bit more playful, just more of that passion coming through. But that's really going to be added more so Thursday onward, once Venus and the moon start to enter into this constellation. So it's really for the coming weeks here with Venus and Mars, of course, month plus, couple months, Mars. So a lot of this expressive energy that's really good. Now, these two planets, Venus and Mars, are very much about interpersonal stuff. So it could be how we're relating with others, how we're connecting with others, and with Venus, how we're just enjoying life in general. Again, with Leo, maybe games, maybe fun, maybe hobbies, interests, maybe creative energy, and especially in those interpersonal relationships can be fantastic. All right, so that's the shift there we'll likely start to feel about Thursday onward. All right, so to conclude the week here, as we do get to Sunday, we do have a couple things going on. One is that the moon will finish Leo and go into Virgo. And so maybe just a good day on Sunday for a bit of improvement or taking care of some things, maybe some of that detail-oriented nature of Virgo there. But we do have a couple squares here. So one with Mercury squaring Neptune, again, like it was early in the week with the Sun square Neptune, finding some constructive ways to channel some of that receptive water energy. In this case, particularly with our minds, maybe we might be feeling a bit dreamy or heads in the clouds, if you will, with Mercury square Neptune. But finding a constructive way to channel maybe some of that intuitive energy, maybe imaginative energy, in a way that's, again, very practical and tangible. So how can we link up our rational mind with our unconscious mind and meld those two together? Usually a good time for spiritual activities, since Mercury is often associated with our routines, and so anything in terms of personal development or spiritual development can always be very good with this square as well. But we'll also have Mars squaring Uranus, so this can be a little bit of an erratic energy, maybe feeling like we want to break free or make some impulsive or rash choices. Now, this will peak Monday of next week, but it's just good here, particularly around Sunday, to maybe just be mindful of that it's great to listen to that true self and have more freedom in our life, but find that constructive and intentional way to do that, especially if we're feeling a bit of that boiling or bottlenecking, which we can sometimes feel with Mars square Uranus. All right, everyone. So that is the week in a nutshell. Really, we can say, put simply, that it's a week of new beginnings coming into the week, slowly building momentum throughout this brand new lunar cycle. While we are, of course, continuing to cultivate our resourcefulness like we have, it's just good to see that we're definitely getting into more cerebral energy with Gemini. Learning, using our minds, and maybe more of the communicative or even social energies can be fantastic. It's a great week to be open-minded to possibilities and potentials and perhaps work towards them with Jupiter sextile Saturn. Midweek, maybe feeling a bit healed and rejuvenated with that assertive or initiating side of ourselves. And then just at the very week end here on Sunday, finding that constructive way for freedom and again, healthy spiritual development, I think can be fantastic. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not yet signed up for MTZ Insiders, it is a free newsletter where you do get these videos released first before YouTube. There's a link to sign up down below for that. It's absolutely free. But have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.